We've been waiting for days now, but the election results still aren't all in. With neither candidate reaching the required 270 electoral votes yet, there are still plenty of ballots to count. By now, most states have called a victor, allowing folks to hypothetically allocate their electoral votes to either candidate. But one state stands out at the moment: Nevada. The Silver State, home to the legendary Las Vegas and all sorts of jokes about Reno. So what's the deal over there? Why are they taking so long? Well, that is what we're hoping to address today. Hello fellow friends and philosophers, and welcome back to the most mind-bending channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. I'm your host, Keegan Hughes, and today we'll be taking a look at a question that is currently being memed into the ground. Why are Nevada's election results taking so long? So, let's hop right into it. After the initial election coverage, it seemed as though President incumbent Donald Trump had the lead. However, as many of the yet-to-be-counted votes were arriving by mail, and Democrats seem more likely to vote by mail, no victory could be called at that point. Over the past few days, more and more votes have been counted, and it seems to be swaying further towards Biden. So how did this change happen? Well, data seems to show that Democrats are voting by mail more than Republicans, which shouldn't be too big of a surprise considering that President Trump told his supporters to physically go to the polls and not vote by mail. Nevada seemed to be staged for a narrow Biden victory at first, but as more votes are slowly counted up, it could prove to be a decisively blue state. We won't know for sure until every ballot is counted though. Now, when it becomes apparent that Nevada was taking a little longer than expected, folks began projecting results being in by Thursday, and here we are on Friday. But here's the deal. Folks working away at counting Nevada's ballots have a huge job ahead of them. They managed to count all of the in-person votes on election day and all the mail-in ballots they received prior to election day. However, they're still in the process of counting postal votes that came in on November 4th and are accepting mail-in ballots arriving as late as next Tuesday. Of course, these ballots need to have been post-dated before the polls closed. So we could be waiting until next Tuesday to figure out the actual numbers in this race. It's hard to estimate how many votes were posted though, as every voter in the state was sent a ballot even if they chose to vote in person. Folks eagerly waiting election results seem to think that this process is really slow, but apparently it's going at a pretty normal pace, all things considered. Nevada's Secretary of State, Barbara Sagobsky, says that the timeline for counting ballots in Nevada comes from the legislatively approved process, and this process dictates that all properly received ballots will continue to be counted for up to 9 days after the election. Under Nevada law, mail ballots postmarked on or before election day and received no later than 5 p.m. on November 10th will be counted. This means there is an unknown number of ballots currently in the US Postal System mail stream that contain a postmark dated November 3 or earlier that will ultimately be counted if they arrive by 5 p.m. on November 10th. State policies also mean that final results can't be announced till all ballots have been counted. Some people are estimating that this could happen by the end of the weekend. In addition to a large amount of mail-in ballots, there are other reasons that Nevada is taking so long. Of course, there are the expected COVID-related issues. People aren't able to work as closely together as they have in the past, and everything is moving along a little slower. There are also some recent legislative changes that made this election more difficult to implement as well. There's also the lawsuits floating around, put in place by the Trump campaign, that are slowing things down as well. They've been contesting results in swing states before all the ballots were counted. In Nevada though, nobody has found any evidence to support these contests. It doesn't look like they're going to rush through the count in Nevada either. The folks processing ballots are working hard, but they've got to make sure the count is accurate. Plenty of memes have been circulated clowning on Nevada for counting so slowly. From sloths to images of people waiting around, just about every applicable format has been applied to the situation. Nobody's gonna miss out on a chance to go viral, right? Especially not dudes in wicked graphic tees. Maybe this BBQ beer and freedom lover has something to do with the polls slowing down. He had no issue interrupting a press conference. All jokes aside, the election results are taking a long time because they want to get the count right. To do so, they need to receive the ballots, count them up, and ensure that any that may be coming a little late are still counted as long as they were sent on time. Of course, as Nevada takes its sweet time, other votes from other potential swing states will continue to come in. Georgia has been catching people's interest lately as it seems to be turning blue as well, but really it'll probably be a little while till we have concrete results, and that's just the way it goes. So, what do you think? Will we get Nevada's results anytime soon? Will the election be called within the week? Who's taking it? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more relatable ones. From Can Donald Trump Sue to stop the vote counting? Enrique Gabriel Negro says, make a what if Krampus attacked the United States and how could we fare off against him? Thankfully, Krampus only focuses on small areas and groups at a time, and only around Christmas. Hopefully, most people would be safe. Make sure you keep your spirits up. Game Freak Plays says, hey guys, no matter what, let's stick together and stay strong. Hell yeah, Game Freak. Solidarity amongst people, not politicians. Kami Tenchi says the election is nothing more than a circus for our entertainment. Think about it. Two clowns trying to make the best jokes. Do you hear circus music? Light Skin says, who here actually understands politics? Not me. Pretty much. There are all sorts of rules that people are supposed to follow, but it feels like most folks just ignore all these most of the time and do whatever. It's always a surprise. We never know. And Master Spiderzilla Plays says we need a meme president. Well, we've got one, and we've had a few before too. What president was the biggest meme? And that's all the time we have for today. Before I spray Windex on a dumpster fire, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more election elation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.